Hello, welcome. Today I'll be doing my very late book hauls because I do take down every book that I buy every month. So I have that down and I was looking through things to like prepare for, the books so that I can have them stacked already. For some reason, I looked at my uploaded book hauls and my last book haul was in June. And I remember talking about the books, like my July and August books, but I couldn't find it, like I didn't upload it. I was like, does that mean that I filmed it and I didn't upload it? And I looked through my photos and I do have the thumbnail for my July book haul, but I can't find a video. Thankfully, I still have my August video, so I will be inputting that in here while I do the rest of the year's book haul. I can't believe I actually didn't film for a very long time. This is going to be the second half of 2022 book haul. Yeah. So, gonna be a lot of books. Without further ado, let's get started. So, I'm going to start with my July book haul, the one that I didn't get to upload and I deleted. So, the first one I already read and I really enjoyed this one. Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reid. I do have another one that I will be hauling somewhere here because this is just a regular paperback, well, UK paperback edition. I read actually an arc of this. Absolutely love this book. This is a historical fantasy following three sisters who are all witches growing up with their xenophobic father, and just her growing up finding love and learning about the relationship that she has with her dad and her sisters. It's very dark. This is definitely adult, so I really enjoyed this though. And then we have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. When I heard that this was very similar to Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, I was like, yes, I'm gonna read that. I have heard kind of mixed things about it. Like it's it's too similar to Love in Other Words, but we'll see what I think about it because again, I really love Love in Other Words and I would love to find something that's very similar to it because that's how much I love it. So Every Summer After. I have The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This one also is something that I've heard a lot of people talk about. Very interested in reading it, of course. This is, I think, her dad died and gave her his house in Alaska, and so it's kind of like exploring the relationship that she had and didn't have, I guess, with her father. And it's also romance. She meets a guy who became like a really close friend to her father, and they have like a hate to love relationship. Again, excited. And then Funny You Should Ask by Lisa Sussman. This one I heard is like a fan fiction based on like an actual interview with Chris Evans, and I've heard a lot of people really enjoy this one, and they could definitely picture Chris Evans in here. I think this is following, again, the main characters met once in an interview. They got married years later and then they both got divorced and they were coming back together in a new interview. And the interview that they had before became pretty popular because people were like seeing the chemistry between them. I think I'm remembering that correctly, but I may not. But again, looking forward to this one because, Chris Evans. Next one, My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfegh. Very popular. I've heard a lot of people love this one. Mixed things. But a lot of people who loved this one explained why they loved it and acknowledging the reason why other people didn't like it. Like it's part of the story, kind of thing. So yeah, this is following a main character who decides to escape her life and her problems by spending a year away. And during the entire time, she's like high or something like that. I don't remember correctly, but she is in drugs and she's just out of it for an entire year because she wanted to escape her problem and her anxieties and the world. So it's her entire year. We're just following her. And then we have A Gentleman in Moscow from the author of Rules of Civility. I have not read Rules of Civility. I've heard a lot of people love it. So I was like, I saw this one in Goodwill. So I was like, I'm gonna try reading it because if I like Rules of Civility, which I have pretty high hopes about, I might like this one as well. So yeah, another one that I actually have been wanting to read for years, but I'm really intimidated by it because I know it's gonna make me cry a lot. I found this one is Sons by Khaled Hosseini. I am planning on reading also The Kite Runner. I saw this one also on Goodwill. I was like, okay, let me get that. I actually still have a tag. The back, I don't know why I haven't removed that, but I will remove it. I will put this on the side somewhere. Put this over there. So I can remind myself that I need to remove the tags for that one. And then we have The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi. I have heard a lot of great things about this one. This is the first book in a new fantasy series. I don't know when the second book is coming out, but this came out last year. So hopefully the second book is coming out this year. I have not read it. Again, heard a lot of great things. And I love the cover. White and red and foiled. So, it doesn't take much to attract me. But I feel like this is going to be one of those adventure-filled high fantasy that I will love. So, yeah. And then another one that I have been wanting to read for a while now is The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. I hate this sticker. I don't like the Netflix sticker. And it's on the book. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I like this edition. Yeah, Another one that came out 2022. Sylvia Moreno Garcia's The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. If you guys don't know, I did a video where I read Sylvia Moreno Garcia's backlist, like all of her books that had come out before this one, in one video. I will link that somewhere here. I ended up really loving Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I don't know why I haven't read this one, but I know she's also coming out with a new one, which I have my eyes on. Daughter of Dr. Moreau. This cover is very beautiful, and it seems like it's going to be a quick read. It's just a little over 300 pages, 304 pages, so this should be a quick read for me, but I'm excited. I have not read the one that this is based off of, Reimagining of the Island of Dr. Moreau. I don't really know what it is about, but I think if I'm remembering correctly from what I've heard a lot of people say, is that the doctor experiments on animals, like he puts them together. Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really heard of, I've heard Dr. Moreau, like it seems very familiar to me, but I haven't really actually read the story or know the story. So next one, Islands of Abandonment, Nature Rebounding in the Post-Human Landscape by Cal Flynn. This one I heard from Emily from Books with Emily. Emily? I think I'm saying her name right. For some reason, I'm like, Emily? It's not Emily Fox. Emma Fox? Emily Fox. Yeah, she loved this one. This is a nonfiction about different places in the world where civilization has kind of, forgot the term, but people left those places and then nature took back those places. And I'm excited about this one. I'm also looking forward to this one. So, Islands of Abandonment. And then we have Volume 3 of Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Shang-Tong-Shu. I have not read the first book, but I do have, I believe I have the 6th one pre-ordered, and I'll have, or the 5th one. I think I have the 5th one. Yeah, I have it somewhere. Yeah, I have the 4th and the 5th one, which I will be hauling here as well. And I have the 6th one pre-ordered. I literally just pre-ordered it this morning. I have not read the first book, but I feel like I will love it. It's one of those books that, you know, I know the entire thing is completed. It's just that the release of the translations are, you know, slowly coming out. I think it's gonna be finished this year. I think they're releasing one every quarter or something like that. So yeah, this is a really long story, as you know. I think there are going to be a total of 8 volumes, if not 10. I think 8. We're following these 2 characters who I believe were either gods in their previous life, or one of them is a god, and something happened and they either had like a forbidden love, and so they were punished by the god, and so they keep repeating lives and they keep meeting, but it all ends badly or something like that. Something like that, I think. Or like they keep wanting to meet but never met in this life they met. Don't ask me, don't take that as like, oh, that's what this is about, but that's what I know. It's like forbidden lovers throughout a long time, and there are gods present. And the art also, because it's also a manhwa or a manga, manhwa is very beautiful. The manhwa is ongoing, if I'm remembering that correctly, or it's about to end, or it ended fairly recently, and there is an anime of this one. The season 1 is already done. I don't know when season 2 is coming out, but I do know season 2 should be like in the works, something like that. But I'm very excited for this one because I feel like I'm going to cry a lot, but I will love it, you know? And the last one that we have is Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. Mainly Sunny reads. Sunny was talking about this one, and she said that she can't believe nobody has been talking about this one. Bridget Kemmerer, to me, is known for her Curse So Dark and Lonely series, and she wrote a contemporary series, and this is the first book. There's a second book, but I will read this one first, see if I love it, but I feel like I will, based on what Sunny has talked about. So those are all the books I got in July. I think I got everything. I will be putting the August book haul right here. Now, this is my last haul from Book of the Month. It's this one, Small Angels by Lauren Owen. This is an adult, well, this is like a fantasy set in like a small town. There's a wedding, there's like a church, and I think it also has like slightly paranormal aspects to it. And I really like small town settings, or like island settings, or like townhouse, or like an old haunted house mansion type thing settings. Like there's a term for it. What's the term? Close to something like that, where it's set in one specific area, and the place also like adds to the overall vibes of the story. There's like probably like history or like paranormal aspects tied to the land or like the house itself, whatever. I really like those kinds of stories, so I was like, you know what, and the cover too sounds intriguing. So, and as an add-on, I have The Bodyguard by Catherine Senner. This one is an adult romance, yeah, I just thought it was cute, decided to put this as my add-on. And my last one, the one that I was planning on getting, I think last month or something like that, I wasn't able to get it. Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I read an arc of this one. I absolutely loved it. I know that his releases so far, like especially the standalone ones, Dark Matter, Recursion, and Upgrade, people have like different sets and opinions with those books. Like people who love Dark Matter didn't like Recursion, like upgrade or something like that. They either like one or two and dislike the other. Like, it's very different across the board for people. For me so far, I have loved all of his books. I think my favorite is going to be this one, or maybe because it's just like the newest one that I read. But I also, and I just love Dark Matter and Recursion as well. So I think my top one will be this, and then Dark Matter, and then Recursion. But I still love all of his books. All my copies of Black Crouch so far, except for like the Pine series, are all Book of the Month books. So if he does release another one and it has a Book of the Month, I probably will buy the Book of the Month too, because I like my books to be matching. So that is my August, my last one for this time books. And I haven't seen the September picks. I'm only like mildly interested in one, which is the 𝐈𝐬𝐬𝐤𝐬 one, but at the same time I haven't read her other books, so I don't know if I'm actually going to like it. So it's good that I skipped, because the other books I wasn't really interested in. Next one, a book that I didn't want to get from Book of the Month because I just, okay, I'm not a big fan of this. Okay, I don't like it. I know a lot of people like it. It's a thing. I don't like it. This one on the spine, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. But I don't know, it takes away from the book sometimes, the covers. So I got 𝐁𝐸 from, I think this is from Barnes & Noble. This is actually Deckle Edges, what you call Deckle Edges. But I have heard so many good things, like raves about this book. So I have just been wanting to get this one, especially because I believe 𝐼𝐬𝐭𝐚 blurbed this, and 𝐼𝐬𝐭𝐚 is good friends with the author Vaishnavi Patel. So this is a fantasy standalone based on Hindu mythology. I feel like I'm going to love this one. And it's one of those books that I'm kind of saving, which I shouldn't do. I feel like I will love because, you know, just a lot of people like this, and a lot of people that talked about this, the way they talked about it, feels like I will love it too. So 𝐁𝐸 by Vaishnavi Patel. And then I have Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. Okay, I have not read Realm Breaker. I do have a copy of it. I don't know if you can see it from here. I think it's right there. I have not read this. I'm not really sure what the premise is about, but the books just look... Okay, there are some books that the way they look like something I will enjoy. Something I will just love having in my hands while I read it. So I bought it. Have I read Red Queen? I've read the first. I was okay with it, but I didn't feel like it's something that I would want to continue. I did buy the entire quartet though, because I'm planning on rereading that, or well, rereading the first book and then eventually reading the entire series if I like it, and then eventually getting to Realm Breaker, and then this one. Look at how shiny this part is. It looks like a real sword. Anyway, so I have Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I got this one from Blackwell's, I believe, because I did get the other one from Blackwell's as well, or maybe not. I don't know, because they usually don't release books paperback form yet, right? It's usually hardcover. So plus this is a tall paperback version. I'm not 100% sure, because some books come out with like the paperback version, tall paperback version, like that's the paperback, the regular paperback one, and then like the mass market ones. But anyway, I got that one. And then this one, I know I got this one from Target, The Voyage of Fracas. Do I know what this is about? Not really, but I believe this is based on like Greek mythology, if I'm not wrong. The cover is the one that really caught my attention. This just screams like Greek mythology, and I love Greek myth retellings. So I got it. This is a cover buy. It's one of those. It's a cover buy. Look at it. How am I supposed to not get it? I think I heard of this somewhere, and then I was like interested in the premise. I don't know what it's about. Don't ask me. But I was like, okay. I heard it like once, I think, and then I saw it on Target. I was like, let me put that on my favorites, my wish list. And then I was like looking for stuff to add on to my cart so that I get free shipping. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a book, which I usually do whenever I need to buy something from Target, and I don't like going to any store. I do it online and I have to get free shipping. I would usually add a book because I have a lot of books on there too. So Barnes & Noble had their, I don't know whenever they do it, but I know they do it quite a couple of times, like each month, where they do like a 50% off hardcovers every few months, I think, or like 50% off, buy one get one 50% off type deal. And they had that one, I think, in August. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some stuff. And I think it was also like, there was also like 25% off other items. So, you know. So the first one that I got is, I still have it in the box, by the way. The first one is a book I've already read and loved, The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I love this size paperback because although it's not as big as the big paperbacks, it's close enough that it's satisfying to me, you know? So, and also floppy. And I love this cover. There is like, the copy that I read was a library copy, and I actually really like that cover, but I love that they included like flowers here, like the nature elements of this book. I loved. So yeah, The Beautiful Ones. This is one of my most favorite Silvia Moreno Garcia books. So, and it looks shorter than the hardcover. Oh, the font is smaller, that's why. And the spaces are also smaller, and that's why. Okay. I really love this. So next one is, okay, this one. I have heard mixed things about the book, and when I first got this one, funnily enough, I remember getting the first book in this series last year during my birth month, and now I got this one in my birth month as well. Like second book. I've been hemming and hawing about this one, like if I want to get it or not, because I've been hearing mixed things about it. So it has a main series. So the author has a main series about this book. It's following the heroine's perspective. So she made like a spin-off series following the hero's perspective. I have the first 3 books in the main series and then the spin-off one. I don't know if you call it spin-off, not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but I have the first book, and again I was debating if I want to get this one because I have not read any of those books, but I decided to just get it. A Game of Retribution by Scarlett St. Clair. It's a lot thicker than I was expecting, and I also really like these sidecovers, you know, like the soft touch covers that do get dirty very easily, but I like just the way it feels whenever I'm holding it in my hand. But anyway, so we'll see. You know, that's why I had to like pause getting anything because I've not read any of these books. So next one, another one that I've been hearing so many things about, and I didn't expect it to be this thin. Woman Eating by Claire Coda. So the main character, this is one of those books, like, you know, at one point there was like this unhinged women like trope where they like give you recommendations where it features like unhinged women. This is one of the like the top recommendations. This features a main character who is a vampire, and she wants to try like actual human food, but her mother turns her into a vampire. Her mother actually hates her because she's a vampire. Like, she hates being a vampire, but she turns her daughter into a vampire. You know, there's that things. As I was saying, I feel like I would like this one too. So, Woman Eating by Claire Coda. And then, this is a book series that I've been wanting to get into, and an author I've been wanting to get into. I decided to buy the first 2 books in the series. It's currently ongoing. Yeah, it's currently ongoing. And I didn't realize it's been a while. And so the second book had already come out. So this is the Bloodsworn series, the first 2 books by John Gwynne. I still remember when The Shadow of Gods came out and people were like raving about it and loved it. And it's a big, high fantasy, thick, floppy book. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put that in my wish list. But because it's an ongoing series, I was like, I'm gonna wait. But I do want to get it. But eventually, like, it took me a while to actually get the book, even though it's like, I know I'm gonna get it. Just because, you know, I know I'm not gonna get into it until the entire series is finished. But, you know, Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, and then Hunger of the... Look at these covers. I love these covers. They're very usual, typical fantasy, high fantasy book type covers, but something about them also is a bit more modern in a way. So I like this a lot. I mean, look at, the dragon with a small person, and now you have your wolf and people as well. So it's kind of like mirroring each other, especially because they're coming in from the right side of the book. So I really like these. I mean, look at, it's just so satisfying to look at. Also, they're thick boys. Of course, the second book is a lot thicker, but I don't know. And they're floppy too. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. And I don't know, I just trust Orbit in terms of like fantasy, because they usually pick like actually really great fantasy books. So if it's from Orbit, I just trust them for some reason. I trust Orbit. So yeah, first 2 books in the series. And I love the way that it goes all the way to the back of the book. Yeah, front, spine, and back. It's a continuity. I love it. It's so satisfying. So those are all the books that I got in August outside of Fairy Loot and Illumicrate. But yeah, that is it for, it's still a lot of books. We are now going to be moving on to my September book haul. Why do I keep blanking on that word? I have my stack right here. First one, actually finished it. Actually looking at it, looking at my list, I actually finished a lot of these books already for September, so yay me. Okay, first one, Company of Fiend by Catherine Moon. This is one of my highly anticipated releases of 2022. I didn't get around to reading this until later this year because I was waiting for this to become available in the author's website so I can get the art that comes with. I don't know why it's not here, but I have it, and it's signed and personalized. So I love this one. And this is the second book in the Tempting Monsters series by Catherine Moon. I think there's gonna be one more book in this series. I might be wrong, but I really enjoy this one. This is my second reverse harem novel, if I'm remembering that correctly. The first one is, no, this is not my second, but this is the first series that I read about reverse harems, or featuring a reverse harem and monsters. So I loved it. I really enjoyed this one. I'm working through Catherine Moon's backlist as well. She has quite a few books. Love this one. If you're into smutty reverse harem monsters, this is a book for you. Yes, I'm gonna put this one last because this is actually an arc. The 4th volume of Heaven Official's Blessing. This cover, though, I saw it and I was like, what the? For some reason, I don't remember when I pre-ordered this one, the cover being this. But yeah, we have our 2 main characters here. If I didn't mention it already, it's a BL, boys love. This is yaoi. Or like, yeah, it's a gay love story. So Yeah, very risque. I've heard a lot of people like share this on TikTok when this came out, and they were like, I had to hide this from my parents because the past few covers have been safe. Like there's really nothing on it, but then this, you can see tongue. So that was so funny. So I believe this is adult. So, you know, keep that in mind. Next one. Another one that I've heard a lot of people talk about is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Just recently, I heard that this was Pride and Prejudice and Howl's Moving Castle combined. And I read Howl's Moving Castle. I have not seen the movie. I have read Pride and Prejudice as well. I have not seen any of the movies. But I enjoyed both. And before that, Elliot has been talking about this book. So I was like, I feel like a lot of people have like, actually, this is like one of their top books of 2022. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get that because it sounds like my cup of tea, because this features a main character who, I don't know if her mother bargained for her soul, but half of her soul was taken. And so she is not very good at like social cues. And so she gets a lot into trouble with that. And I think this is her process of like finding her other half, something like that. Or maybe working through having only half a soul. So romance. Also, I should do this one. Some books have this where either the cover like moves or there's like an interview with the author, or both. We have to use Google Lens. I do have it, but I didn't realize that it had that one until I saw it. Dang. Okay, I'm looking at the price. This paperback, this one has how many pages? 200, 300 maybe? Almost 300 pages. It's $16.99. Why is this so expensive? Books are expensive nowadays. Okay, I have two Babel books here. So I have the first one is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. This is the edition that I read. As you can see, I have tabs in there, and I actually annotated this one, like actually annotated on it. Like I wrote on it. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, there we go. This is the first book that I have ever like actually annotated on, like actually wrote on the book and not like on a sticky note. You can see I underlined that one. I do have comments somewhere. Where is it? Yep. Oh, this one. I started first with like, I don't know if you can see it. Transparent sticky notes. I started with those. You can't really see it. That's really nice. But yeah, I have transparent sticky notes, but eventually I just started writing on the book itself, which was, at first it was like, this is new. I've never done this one, but it was fun, actually. A little bit liberating, if I say so myself. I just saw a comment that said, this bitch. Where is it? No, it might be spoilery. It's by the end, but yes. So this is the signed Barnes & Noble. Yeah, this is a signed Barnes & Noble edition. I need to take out the sticker. I don't know why I keep forgetting that one, but I did read this edition. And then I have also one of my top books of 2022. This one from Blackwell. This one is also signed. This one is just the UK edition, the regular UK edition, but it is signed. I need to take out the sticker. It's just, there's nothing special about it. It's just signed. And the UK edition, I actually prefer, usually I do, the UK edition of the cover. The US one is fine. It's pretty, but I like the way this is like, instead of the Tower of Babel, the word Babel is written on it, and that part on the picture is like torn out. So yeah, I have these two, and then I have The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I actually already read this one, and the one that I finished. Yeah, I liked it. It's like a 3.75 overall in terms of the whole series. Final Gambit. And then I ordered the Empress Crown in Red Fairy edition because I do have the first book in the same edition. I actually really love it because look at the foiling, look at that, and the art too, the edges, like the actual like book too. So I have not read it. I will. I mean, I got the special edition and all that, so I will be reading it. And then another edition of Juniper and Thorn. I believe this is the Fairy Loot special edition. I love this book. It is signed. Has this ombre sprayed edges, has art foiling on the hardcover. I have that. And then the last one that I have, the last one. Arc, like I mentioned, this is Chloe and the Kaishao Boys by May Koito. I believe the author is Filipino, so I got sent the arc, like the physical arc. She's a Chinese Filipino writer, born and raised in the Philippines. She has a psychology degree and a writing degree for young adult and children. And she lives in Manila. Oh, she lives in Manila. So I do have the e-arc of this one. This one is coming out this one is coming out March. So I will be reading this next month. I was contacted by Penguin Teen because I am Filipino and the author is Filipino, and already requested the e-arc, and they have some physical arcs that they can send out. So I have this one. Cannot wait to read this one. I want to see. Alright, now we're gonna be moving on to my October book haul. Now for October and November, I didn't really get that much books, but December I got a lot. So let's start with October. Okay, the first one that I got, this one also has a sticker. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do that. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This one, very much hype everywhere. Some mixed things have come out, but I feel like this is something that I will also really enjoy. So I got this one off of Target, as you can see. So we'll be taking off that sticker. I don't know why I have that sticker. And then another edition of Babel. Got the Fairy Loot one. This one is actually secondhand from a different seller, not from Fairy Loot itself. I don't know if I just forgot about it or if I totally missed the email for this one, but I was looking for it and I finally found one it's still more expensive, a lot more expensive than if I had gotten it in the first place, but it's the most affordable that I found of it. So because I really wanted this cover. The Babel editions that I have are all like dark covers, and I really like this one, especially with the digitally printed edge of the tower that is missing on here. Again, it's white and paper art of our 4 main characters, which I actually really love. So it's that, and then it also has a wrapped around design. And of course it is signed. And just, you know, I wanted a pretty copy too, even though I already read the book at that point. So, and then I have The Charm Offensive. Wow, this book is heavy. Why did I not notice how hefty this book is? So this is The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. Also, the cover is like a soft touch matte. How many pages is this? 358. But I think the paper is pretty thick compared to other books. Like, it's pretty stiff. Heard a lot of great things about this one. So the main character becomes part of this like dating program, like The Bachelor, and instead of falling for the girls, actually falls for one of the producers of the show, and it's a romance. And just heard really great things about this one, so can't wait to read this. And then another one that Elliot has been talking about for years, and I believe this ended last year. I don't have the last book yet. So this is Fireborn and Flamefall by Rosario Munda. I remember seeing this on Book of the Month. I didn't like the cover, and then I saw the new covers and I was like, actually that looks really good. So I got it. I believe this is a trilogy, if not a duology. I believe this is a yep, the last book is Fear Song. I am planning on reading that planning on buying that one and then getting into this book. I heard a lot of really great things, so, you know, like great world building, great characters, great magic, so y'all. And then I have Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I have another version of this one that I forgot that I pre-ordered. And while I was going to cancel it, I forgot and it was already on the way. So I actually really like this one. It's like foily, but it's paperback. So yeah, look at that, so shiny. I have not read this Violent Delight. I will be before reading this one. So fingers crossed I will have that read. Another one that I've heard a lot of really amazing things about, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu. I actually thought that I got the paperback edition, but I guess not. I guess I didn't. So it's like a tiny book, especially compared to like, see, it's tiny. It's a tiny hardcover. I feel like I'm going to cry reading this one, you know, but ready to cry. Beautiful story. Sabatahir blurbed it and said it's an absolute must read, and I trust her. So As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. Everyone that I have heard talk about this one like loved it. I like absolutely loved it. So I feel like I will too. So I got it. Also the cover is very pretty. It's another way to convince me to read it. It's people are reading about it and then the cover is like so beautiful. I will buy it. And then the last one for October is Kingdom of the Feared by Karen Maniscalco. I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Have I read the first book? No. Have I read anything from Karen Maniscalco? No. I'm planning on reading first her like Stalking the Jack the Ripper series. I don't know if that's a series name. I heard that's like, you know, mid, but it was fun. So I feel like I'm gonna read that first just to get a feel for her writing. And then, funnily enough, this is originally a YA, and then the second book became New Adult, and I believe this one is New Adult too. So I don't really know I think the cover is a little bit different for this one, and it has the end paper art. It's the same. Is it the same art? Yeah, same art for both sides. I don't know if this is signed. No, it's not signed. And those are all the books I got for October. Now let's move on to November. Right, actually, I'm gonna transfer this one so I don't get it everywhere. All right, so November, I have a small stack here. Very small stack. Okay, the first one, Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I was going back and forth between getting this one or not because I've heard mixed things about it. I was like, if it's just gonna be mid, I don't want to get it. But the cover is so pretty and it's vampire. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. It might be very enjoyable. It's a lot longer than her usual books. It's almost 500 pages. This is 490 pages. So a lot longer than her usual books. Her books are usually around the 250 mark, 300 if that. So looking forward to reading this. I believe this is the first book in a series. Don't quote me on that. Next one that also has a sticker. Peace and Love by Fallon Ballard. I heard that this is really cute and really fun and really like a good like romance book, so might as well. Got it on Target as well. Gonna take the sticker off. I don't know why I keep forgetting. And then If You Could See the Sun by Anne Liang. Look at the cover first of all. I've heard mixed things about this, but I feel like I'm going to like it quite a bit. This is following a main character who starts going invisible after she like fails her classes, and it's like the manifestation of her being a failure. Like that's the, you know, so yeah, cover is beautiful. I believe there is a sequel, if I remember that correctly. I don't know 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if it's just like a new book from the author and the cover is very similar. Again, very pretty cover. And then I have 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater. This is the second book in the series. It is a companion series, so you don't necessarily have to read first book first, but I believe there might be like mild spoilers here. I heard that this one is not as good as the first one, but like I said, I feel like I'm going to like it, and it's 250 pages, so I believe it's going to be a really fast read. So if it has the same like whimsical feeling as the first book, according to what I gathered, I feel like I'm just, you know, still gonna enjoy it. And then I have Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I forgot what this is about. Let's see. One woman is going to have to learn how to give love a chance when she's used to suspecting the worst in this fresh romantic comedy. I think this is like somebody is like killing or getting killed or something like that, and romance happens. It's like satirical in a way. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard this was fun. And then I have a nonfiction book, Your Brain's Not Broken, Strategies for Navigating Your Emotions in Life with ADHD. So if you didn't know, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and so I'm really interested in psychology and psychological things. So I have been wanting to read more about autism, and now I have a book about ADHD. I have a few self-help books about anxiety that I need to get to as well. Just further my learning and just like learning more recent studies with psychology, especially because I think psychology is a branch of science that has a lot more to grow. Now let's get to December. It's the last month. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Quite a few of these are from the same author and like the same series, so I feel like we're gonna go through this like really quickly. First one, I've been wanting to read this series. So I have Fortuna Sworn, Restless, Slumber, and Deadly Dreams. I believe there's only one more book that I'm missing, and that was recently released. This is actually secondhand. I got this one from Panko Books, so heard really great things about this one. And this is from, I believe this is independently published, so, you know, support authors and all that. And then I have This Is My America by Kim Johnson. I actually got this one from work because we had like a table of like free books, and even though I worked there, I was like, I'm gonna get some. So this is one of those things that I got. I believe this is YA. So in the back it says, they look at my father and think murderer. They look at my brother and think thug. They look at me and think I'll be quiet. They are wrong. Looking forward to this. And then another one that I got from the same. I don't know why the spine is broken. I literally have not even opened this book, but the spine is already broken. And I don't remember the spine being broken when I got this one. Like I said, another book that I got from work is Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper, a main character who has like really photographic memory, like photographic eidetic memory. She can't walk, she can't talk, and she can't write. So the people, she remembers everything, but it's just that she can't show that she knows how to do it. So at 11 years old, she was still doing like preschool like words and letters and sounds. And she discovers something that will allow her to speak for the first time. At last, Melody has a voice, but not everyone around it is ready to hear it. So I feel like this is another book that will make me cry. So, you know, I like books that make me cry. You know, like, it takes me a while to get out of that and just continue and, you know, stop crying. I will continue to be miserable, you know? And then another book that I still not have gotten to, but I want to. This is the sequel, Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. If you don't know, the first book, A River Enchanted, is one of my top books of 2022, like one of my favorite reads so far. And this is a sequel. I got the special edition from Illumicrate. I actually skipped that month. I don't know why I did that. So I skipped that month, and then I read A River Enchanted, and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I luckily was able to find like the entire box for like the same price as I would have paid for. And I got the first book. I do have a paperback edition of the book, and I do have a paperback edition of this coming soon. So we have and paper art following and featuring our two main characters that I absolutely love. And then we have foiling front and back. Of course, this is a sign, and we have our, I believe this is digitally printed edges, not sprayed edges. Fire Endless. Look at that cover. It's so pretty. It's one of those books that I don't want it to end yet, because I know this is like the sequel. It's only a duology. I love them so much, but I do want to know what happens next, because we ended at like a really heartbreaking point in the story, and I just want everyone to be okay and happy. So I will get to that soon. you know? And then I have the 5th volume of Heaven Official's Blessing. Oh, I just saw this is rated 17 plus. Shouldn't it be 18 plus? Or is it because of like above 17? I'm 100% sure, but look at that cover. It's so cute compared to the last one. It's so wholesome and nice. And the other one is like chair on the table. Yes, so I have the 5th book in Heaven Official's Blessing. Then I have Priest and Sinner by Sierra Simone. A smut. I have heard that the last book, Saint, isn't very good, so I'm gonna read this one first, the first 2 books, and see if I'm, interested in reading that one. Yeah, this has been going on TikTok for past year, so, I need to get to it. And then the last one that I have here, oh no, I have a few more. So I have Celeste Ng's new book, Our Missing Hearts. I loved Celeste Ng's 2 previous books. What is this one? Little Fires Everywhere and Everything I Never Told You. Both are like heart-wrenching, but beautiful stories about like complicated family dynamics. But actually don't know what this is about. I just saw this Celeste Ng's new book and I was like, I should get that because I loved her previous 2 books. Look at that. Look at that. So this is signed by Celeste Ng. There we go. So like I said, I don't really know what this is about, but Celeste Ng, And then we have a couple of Sophie Lark books. I got the first books in her series. I don't know if these are all her series, but I have the first books for each of them because I ordered this one off of her website so I can have them signed. So I have Brutal Prince. I have read this one. This also is the illustrated edition, so it has art throughout the book. There are no saints. Again, this is signed, and this is the illustrated edition. Let me see if I can find. Yep, illustrated edition. And then the Heir. This is so funny because the covers look very similar, but then the sizes are very different. A lot taller than the other 2. Well, not a lot, but it's taller than the other 2. And it's like thicker paper. It's white. So this is Sophie Lark. This is not illustrated. It says it's the limited edition. So there's a family tree, but I guess there are no illustrations. There are. Hold on. I thought we wouldn't have any illustrations. Because these 2 are labeled as illustrated, but this one is labeled as just limited. Yo, look at that. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I have those. And then the last one is an arc. Where is it? I have like books everywhere now. Chasing Pacquiao. So this one is also from Penguin Teen. And if you didn't know, Pacquiao is a very popular boxer. He's Filipino, and we're following a main character who looked up to Pacquiao, and he actually learned boxing because of Pacquiao to help protect himself from bullies because he is gay. And then Pacquiao made a homophobic comment, and then it's like him struggling with, that whole relationship that, he found a lot of strength in looking up to Pacquiao, and then he said something homophobic, and he said it in real life. I remember that because I was still in the Philippines around that time, and I remember him apologizing for it, but he never actually took back what he said. He still thinks that homophobia is a sin, and because it's not in the Bible. So I'm really interested in how we're gonna explore that, because I know for a fact that I felt a lot of anger, but not really disappointment. Like, I knew that he was that type of person. Like, I wasn't really surprised that he was that type of person, but it angered me a lot. I have a lot of personal feelings about it myself. So this one is coming out May, so I will be reading this in April. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually really excited. Those are all the books that I got. Finally, we ended it. Hopefully it's not gonna be too long, but I think it's gonna be pretty long because this is 6 months of book haul. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will be doing a book haul soon after this one. It's going to be an unboxing book haul. So those are some books that I got in January, but I will still be doing a separate January book haul because I have more books that I didn't haul with that one. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on my next one.